Again, I'm going to reiterate, in the past week, I have spoken with Chair Town about the public safety, regional, the Regional Public Safety Committee. He agrees that we should probably start with dispatch. Spoken with Mayor Haller. He says the same. Would encourage anyone to check up on me. Going to extend the invitation, and if I have to, then perhaps I send a liaison. I send either Mr. Herring or Mr. Smith, because if I'm not able to get the job done, what's important is to get the job done and get Barre Town to the table. And like I said, I reach out to Jeff frequently, and this is really about, it's really about the region. And my strong belief is that, and again, I've only been able to speak with Chair Town and Mayor Haller about the issues, but my strong belief is that I would really like to see the councils take a stronger ownership, councils and select boards, take a stronger ownership of the project. I appreciate so much the work that Mr. Malik has done, and without his leadership, we wouldn't be this far. But if we're really serious about this, let's either, if we're not, let's drop it, so that I don't have to keep doing this stuff. But if we're really serious about it, let's start with dispatch. It's not that, we're just talking about developing a $10 million budget, as is Montpelier and Berlin and Barre Town. If you look at dispatch and what we spend in all the communities, it's under probably $1.5 million. So if we can develop a $10 million budget in 2 months, I think we could develop a budget for regional dispatch and figure out a way to pay for it, what is fair to the communities, in less than 2 months. And yet, for some reason, because we don't drive the process, it's taken 2 years. And believe me when I say this, we don't need this stuff in Barre City. We have got so many great things going on in Barre City. We don't need to be working with anyone, but we want to be working with everyone, because we recognize, and again, this was reiterated, years and years ago, 6 years ago, it was Commissioner of Public Safety, a little trivial pursuit for you, Councilor Poirier. No, he's down in Washington now. He's Kerry Sleeper. Oh, did you? Yeah. Sorry. 6 years ago was Kerry Sleeper, and now, of course, it's Keith Flynn. What's that? You'll have to look to Councilor Booten. You'll have to look to Councilor Booten for that.
Like a rose there. Bring one in for you. I'd burn it that rose.
Just give it to Leslie. He'll get it. But, and it's interesting because we got a briefing when I had the meeting with the other mayors. We had a briefing from Commissioner Flynn, and he reiterated, he said the same thing that Kerry said years and years ago, that the future of public safety is regional, that the legislature is probably going to look more closely at communities who are getting services from the Vermont State Police for a very reduced cost or for no cost, and they're going to try to bring some parity to that, so that communities like Winooski and Barre and Burlington and Rutland and Bennington and Brattleboro, who really have to, because we're population centers, maintain larger police forces, we're not at such a disadvantage, because other communities aren't maintaining a police force at all, or rely on the state police for coverage. So, again, it's a discussion I want to be on the front end of, but it's very, very difficult. And like I said, I'm at a point where, look, if I can't get the job done, if it is personalities, if it's Jeff's personality, my personality, keeping us from working together, then I'd be happy to say, you know what, Jeff, then why don't you agree to step aside, I'll step aside, and why don't we let another counselor handle it in that regard. So, Jeff and I simply appoint, or our respective select boards and councils appoint liaisons and say, look, if we can't get along, then we'll appoint another liaison and let them work together to coordinate city-town meetings. And I'm not above that, but, I'm going to reiterate, Council, fair is fair, and I will accept criticism where it's deserved. But you saw the response when the invitation was extended, and you saw the way the response was given. That's typical, and that is something that I have experienced. I will produce emails, I'll produce the documentation to show you how many times I have reached out to the chairman over the last 2 years, and phone calls don't even get returned, emails don't even get returned. The only time I hear from the chairman is when the council hears from the chairman, because he doesn't like something I've said, even though I wasn't even talking about the town of Barre. And that's what we have to get past. So, yes, sir.
Can I just do a cleanup on Round Table? Didn't do a manager's report, but just a couple things.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay. Councilor Herring.